Is this pretty realistic?
I feel pretty good. I feel like I made a big hit.
Here's an inside look at the blindside hit. As Joey slams into his target at about 14 miles per hour, he delivers 1,160 pounds of force. That's the same amount of force as getting kicked in the back by the hind leg of a raging bull.
I just showed my burst off the line of scrimmage. That's the best thing to do. At my position, to have quick reaction time.
Sue reacts to the trigger in only 26/100ths of a second. That's the fastest reaction time we tested, including backs and receivers. This is because Sue launches like a true sprinter. For that crucial first step, he keeps his back nearly parallel to the ground, maximizing his horizontal force. Sue hits a top speed of 13.5 miles an hour in only 1.3 seconds at the 6-yard mark. Our analysis of Sue's acceleration and speed reveals that incredibly, over 20 yards, this 300-pounder is flat out faster than Tony Romo. Next test, the heavy bag gauntlet. To replicate the challenges of moving through a wall of blockers, Sue must navigate a series of 300-pound heavy bags and then tackle our crash test dummy. What kind of technique do you use when you see an open shot like this?
I'm driving through them, keep the feet running,
Right.
and take them to the ground as hard as I can.
3, 2, 1, go! Dude, oh my God. Sue crushes our crash test dummy with over 3,200 pounds of force. That's the biggest impact we've ever measured, even more than hits by sports science alums Ray Lewis and Chris Jenkins.
Ray doesn't just tackle the dummy. He nearly buries it into the ground.
That's a hell of a hit. That's a hell of a hit. That's the freaking way the game is played, bro. That's the beauty of freaking football. That's the beauty of freaking football, man. That's contact. See that right there? Call that color right there. See, back in old school days, if you had some of this color coming out of football games, that's when you know who won that battle. He lost today. Dummy lost.
It sure looks nasty. But did this open field tackle create a bigger impact than the home plate collision? Our base runner accelerated up to 18 miles an hour and blasted into the catcher with an impact of 1,600 pounds of force. Ray got up to 12 miles an hour and smashed into the dummy with a massive 2,200 pounds of force. That's nearly 38% more force than the collision at home. First, the drop back. 5 steps in 1.2 seconds. Second, the eyes. Ben's eyes move from receiver to defender and back again in rapid-fire 50-millisecond intervals, faster than a bird of prey. Third, angular velocity. Ben's wrist maxes out at 2,900 degrees per second, an astonishing 490 RPM. That's as fast as a chainsaw. Fourth, arm speed. Ben's arm cocks back, then catapults forward from 0 to 82 miles per hour in just 1/1800ths of a second. That's faster acceleration than a top-fuel dragster. Fifth, the release. The ball spins off Ben's fingers at 12 revolutions per second. The tighter the spiral, the more aerodynamic the flight. The result? A 60-mile-an-hour pinpoint pass. When all the moving parts sync up, from snap to release, it takes Ben 1.5 seconds to fire a strike downfield. TD for Big Ben.
All right, good people. As you guys see here, you've seen those videos, you've seen the examples there to talk about the speed of the game and how quickly the game basically runs. You know what I'm saying? In respect of momentum, in respect of, you know, the full speed of professional football and all the physical aspects of it. Now, with football being the standard, and the point that I'm getting at in this example here is talking about the line play when it comes to O-line and D-line interactivity, because that's where a lot of things are determined at, whether you're able to get a sack, whether you're going to be able to make that tackle for a loss, whether you're going to be able to hurry up that pass from the quarterback. And the games that we're playing are all animations are determining everything. The animations between offense and defensive linemen are determined. So you may get sucked into an animation, or you may get took out of the play because of the way that the animation runs its course. You know, and that's speaking from all the games, from All Pro Football, NFL 2K5, Madden, NCAA. That's talking about all the games. And even with Backbreaker, you know what I'm saying, as well. But the point is that I'm talking about the speed of the game, the speed of a realistic pass rush. And as you look at it here in this article, and I'll put it in the description too if you want to check it out, but basically they talk about how, as you've seen with the Ben Roethlisberger example, a quarterback normally has about 3 seconds to snap the ball, drop back, make his read, and get the ball out before the heat comes. You know what I'm saying? Somebody usually is coming around. And you saw that with Ben Roethlisberger, and you see the speed of players like Ray Lewis and Demikong Suh, Joey Porter, you know what I mean, as I've shown in those examples. You know, you see how quickly those guys come off the edge, how quickly those guys engage a ball carrier, how quickly they're able to make that hit once they make a read on the play. And to honestly depict the speed of the game, as you see here further in the article, most players, that being preferably the casual, would get frustrated with this. Now, the simulation crowd will probably like it. You know what I'm saying? Now, to each its own on that statement. But Natural Motion did get it right with Backbreaker, as they said here. People would be begging for a patch within a week of the game's release to fix the quote-unquote broken pass protection, and a similar reaction happened with Backbreaker, because, you know, that's what happened. They gave you, unlike Backbreaker, gave you the restricted view. They gave you the restricted view as if you were playing the position, quarterback, halfback, whatever. They gave you the restricted view. They gave you the on-field presence of football being right there. You know what I'm saying? So you got to see the violence. You got to feel the impact of the hits. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could see the impact. You could see the force, you know, of somebody punching through the line and sacking your quarterback, or blindsiding your QB, or getting sandwiched by two defenders, you know, two or more defenders, and still reaching out for the ball to get an extra yard or two. You know, like, those are all the things that are in respect of football in terms of how fast the game is. Because as you can see, whenever they do any of these examples on Sports Science, they're always talking about the speed and the force and the violence. You know, how violent the hit is, at what speed, you know what I'm saying, and depending upon what it is they're trying to get at, what it is they're trying to determine, you know, to showcase. But the point is with this, and this goes along with what Sim F. Ball was saying, if you were to take away those animations, the animations that dictate what happens between an O-line and D lineman, would it fully respect the speed of the game? Honestly, it wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? And you wouldn't be able to get rid of the morphing because you have two different types of animations that are going to play out between a O lineman and a D lineman, a wide receiver and a cornerback, a halfback and a D lineman, or any defender. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, it has to play out realistically, but at the same time, there will always be some kind of hitch or some kind of slowdown, because the fact of the matter is that you got two completely different animations going head up with each other. And the only way to truly negate that is by using a real-time physical dynamic. Like how Euphoria did with like Natural Motion did with Backbreaker here. They honestly brought forth something revolutionary in terms of simulation football gaming. And that's why I got to give it to these guys, even before the patch, and even though before they patched the game, everybody on the field was a receiver. You know what I'm saying? DBs had great hands and everything, and that was a huge issue. But nevertheless, these guys depicted the speed of the game the best, no question. And just like Sim pointed out, they have static animations too that hinder forward progress because the animations have to play out. You know, whether it's a jostling matchup between an O-line and D lineman, or possibly breaking a tackle at times or what have you. They're scripted animations. And once you get away from the scripting of the animations and have a dynamic continuum of animation going on, that's when you're going to completely minimize or neutralize the shifting and the suction animations and the warping to a great degree, to an even greater degree. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, of course, I definitely commend EA for what they have done so far, but we have to wait and see what happens next in terms of like when this game comes out. How much crisper, how much more crisp are those animations going to be? Is it going to be a lot more smoother, or is it just going to be jagged? You know what I'm saying? We have yet to see. So, but I just wanted to point this out. You know, like I said, the article's going to be in the description, so check it out. And, you know, and just another thing, like I said, to point out, we're the simulation community. So, of course, we're going to be the minority by default. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people would not like playing at the speed of the game. And that's why, like they say, the pass rush is neutered. And that's why you see, like I said, the static animations and everything, things of that nature. Because if they honestly made the game at full speed, people would complain all day long. And the other point, like it says here, defensive linemen getting sucked into vacuum blocks, things of that nature. As long as companies continue to use static animations, there's always going to be some kind of suction. There's always going to be some kind of morph. They could say no more, but the thing is, it still is going to be present. It still is going to be present because there's no dynamic. There's no dynamic continuum to keep everything original and flowing freely. You know, so that's what I'm saying. The next phase is going to have to be going into a real-time physical dynamic. So, on that note, this is your boy Smitty signing out. Peace.